What is going on, guys? My name is GameTron13, and I was scrolling through Reddit and found this interesting post in the r/redstone community by dot/areo called the Redstone Bundle Challenge. Now, the idea of this challenge is to make a redstone build where all of the components used to make the build are able to fit inside of a bundle. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you can read through the rules of the challenge, but I thought it was pretty interesting and decided to take a crack at it. So here's my submission to the challenge. It is a device that if you put mushrooms into the cauldron like this, and then click this soup spoon, I know it's a shovel, but it's a soup spoon. If you click it, it spits out a delicious mushroom stew. And the way it works is you have a hopper that draws in the items you throw into the cauldron and feeds them into the crafter. And we have a dropper down here that has a bunch of bowls in it, and this calibrated skulk sensor is listening for you clicking this item frame, and whenever you do that, it sends a repeater signal into the dropper. The dropper puts a bowl into the crafter and simultaneously powers the crafter to spit out the soup through this half slab. And we have a lectern out the back here that is putting a signal strength of 11 into the skulk sensor, because 11 is the frequency tied to listening to an item being spun in an item frame, and there's also water inside of the skulk sensor to make it silent. So in this chest is all the items we need in order to make the system work. You can pause to get the exact items and counts, but one thing I want to draw attention to is these items over here in this crafting table. Now these items are for a book and quill, and these items are for the shovel. The rules state that we are allowed to craft non-stackable items if we have the items as well as the crafting table inside the bundle. So I have that right here because we need the book to put inside the lectern and the shovel to put inside the item frame. I also have 2 ice blocks in the bundle to act as water sources, as well as a bucket to use those water sources. I also have an anvil and 2 experience bottles because if you'll look, this shovel in this item frame is named to add some flair, and so I wanted to fit that inside the bundle, and I had enough space to do so. I also had enough space to put in 4 bowls, as well as enough ingredients to craft all 4 types of stews in the game. And if you put all that in the bundle, I have 63 out of the 64 item slots taken up inside the bundle, so I have 1 item to spare. I think that's pretty good. Alright, I'm in a new world. I have my bundle, and the rules also said that I'm allowed to use unenchanted diamond tools in order to break blocks. So I'm going to go into survival mode and I'm going to build this thing. So the first thing is I need to dig down a two block tunnel, and then break one block down, 1 block to the right, and 2 blocks to the left, and then facing forward, break 6 blocks in a 2x3 area. Then in this corner, I'm going to break 1 block down, 2 blocks to the left, and 2 blocks forward. And then finally, in this middle area, I'm going to dig 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks out in this direction. Then, in this area, I'm going to take my wool, so 14 wool. I'm going to place 1 white wool here, red wool over here, and then I'm going to use the rest of the wool to fill in this entire space that I just dug out. Shuffling around the items in the bundle because I need access to more stuff. I need the dropper, the crafter, the hopper, and the cauldron, as well as this repeater. So I'm going to place the repeater right here, and then the dropper, crafter, cauldron, hopper, and then the cauldron. Then out the back of the cauldron, I'm going to temporarily break these 3 blocks. And then I'm going to grab my skulk sensor and place it with the amethyst side facing this wool. And then my 2 solid blocks get placed right here. I'm also going to break this block. And then because I don't feel like hearing that, I'm going to break this. And then just, not like that, just waterlog this skulk sensor. The reason that hole is there is so the water can flow down and not break the repeater. And then I'm going to place my comparator and my lectern like so. And then I'm going to make my book. So I'm going to place my crafting table down, make the book, And then I'm just gonna put in 15 pages with numbers so I have my signal strengths. So here's my signal book. I'm going to place it in the lectern and move it to page 11. So that way our calibrated skulk sensor is getting a signal strength of 11. I'm going to refill in this hole. And then we're going to get our slabs, fences, item frame, and our shovels. So fence posts, item frame, half slab, and I'm going to make the shovel. Then I'm going to get out my anvil and experience bottles. I'm aware that I currently have 9 experience points, so I'm going to quickly set my experience to 0 to prove that 2 experience bottles is enough to get up to the 1 experience level I need to rename this wooden shovel to Want Some Soup. Place that in. Then I'm going to temporarily break this block so that I can come down here and put my bowls inside of the dropper. And that is the system all done. Oh, and I also need to put some water in the cauldron. There we go. Now it's all done. So a quick demonstration of this thing working. Let's get all my ingredients out of the bundle. And so first thing I'm going to make is the classic mushroom stew. So red mushroom, brown mushroom, click the spoon, mushroom stew. Next up, I'm going to make some beetroot soup. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beetroots like that. Click the spoon again. Got some beetroot soup. Next up is some rabbit stew. So cooked rabbit, baked potato, carrot, and another mushroom to get some rabbit stew. And finally, suspicious stew. I chose dandelion because that is the best one. So a mushroom, brown mushroom, and a dandelion to get suspicious stew. That will give you the saturation effect. So this is my submission to the Redstone Bundle Challenge. It was kind of fun figuring out how to fit a redstone contraption inside of a bundle, and I'm glad I was able to pull it off. So if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. This has been GameTron13, and I'm out. See ya.